Mhm. Well, good evening and welcome to the Cosmic Watch. I'm Franklin. I'm your astrologer, and this is a chat room that we offer to our subscribers here on the YouTube channel. And we give them a chance to be a part of the next hour as we discuss the stars and what's going on in the sky. And also, a way for you to have a private reading with me here at weforetell.com is to find the contact number and the schedule below in the description. Just also check out our other free material right here on YouTube, such as the horoscopes, which I do, the monthly horoscopes, which begin by telling you what your strongest days are going to be in that particular month, and ends with how your dreams are affected by the lunar cycles that are going to be coming up. And a lot of things available to you there. Also, the tarot card lessons, the compatibility videos, how the different signs go together. And if you see there, if you like it, please hit thumbs up, because it really does make a difference. And we do thank you for your support. What we are into tonight, we've just come out of the full moon, which was in Pisces, the second full moon in the month of August. So it was called a blue moon, and it was also a super moon in that the orbit of the moon brought it as close to Earth as it can possibly get. So to the naked eye here on Earth, it was as large as the moon can possibly be. And here's Cody joining us in the chat room and asking how I've been, how I survived the full moon, I guess is what you're asking. And boy, was there a switch today. Cody, did you feel it when we switched over in the middle of the day from the moon sign being in Pisces? That full moon was in Pisces. And we switched over to Aries right in the middle of the day. We came from dreaming about things into doing things. That's what Aries is all about. Cody says yes, felt that too. The thing, we have been under the power of this Pisces full moon, which just suppresses our emotions and makes us hide our real feelings. And now we've jumped into Aries here in the middle of the day, and what this is going to bring is an emotional eruption from everybody. People who have been holding it in for the past 3 days are now going to let loose. They're going to cut loose this weekend, and it's going to be a real tangible change. Cody says, felt emotional from last night and earlier from today. A lot of people have mentioned that people have been brought to tears, and it's because of the overdose of emotion that's being forced into the world by that Pisces full moon. Here's Karen saying hello. Karen, good to have you with us tonight as we discuss the first day of September. This is a marker. We're in Virgo, of course, and that Virgo tendency is with all of us right now, with everybody, all experiencing that sixth house of doing whatever is necessary to get the job done, to get what we want, what we desire. If it's big in our mind, we'll find a way to get it this month during this Virgo sun sign. Cody says, I can't believe we're already in September. This was a 7-year. This year promised to be a spiritual year. And boy, has it been full of changes, just complete changes. This change that we just went through with the moon sign, going from Pisces, which is all about your feet, to Aries, which is all about your head. Things have just turned upside down in the last day or two. There's been so many come from behind. The last place now in first place. It's just been amazing how we are pushing now towards the end of this year, where we are all going to go through change, as we do at the end of every year. And it's not just in your mind that making resolutions for New Year. That truly is a thing. It's almost self-hypnosis. It's very close to it, when simply by making your goals, you begin to lay the path for achieving your goals. And boy, isn't that what we learn from Virgos? Virgos know how to make a plan and stick to that plan. And they'll do whatever's necessary. They'll learn whatever's necessary to take on whatever skill is necessary. Cody says it definitely was a spiritual year. It has been. And, first thing we need to do tonight is pull some cards on the folks who are here. We've said hi to Cody and hi to Karen, and let's have a look at what's going on for Cody. Cody, if I pulled a card on you for tonight, it's about being able to express yourself, being able to see the ripples that you're sending out to the world, that you're trying to connect with the world. Karen, if I pulled a card on you tonight, what am I being told? Oh boy, that's something that you've done here in the past, 24, 48 hours, is something you've put into place, is going to just work out great. It's whatever you have decided on, or whatever you're about to decide on, it's things look great for long-term good to come from whatever you're putting together, Karen. Cody says, always felt spiritual even as a youngster. This is what we have to remember about encouraging youngsters. The people who have been born since the year 2000 up to 2010 all had those multiple zeros in their birthday. Zero indicates the presence of ESP, the presence of sensitivity within someone. Double zeros is double strength. And it also doubles the strength of a zero doubles the strength of whatever numbers are around it. So someone born in the year 2000, it's like having all those zeros and doubling the need to work with other people. That too. And that's about being able to combine our best thoughts with those of other human beings, to not think that we're self-made, but to think that we're all working in a community. We're all working together. And this is why spirits come to us when we're young, when we're in need of reassurance that we're all we've ever been told as kids is that Santa Claus is watching us, right? And kids begin to develop a guilty conscience when really they need to be exploring whatever comes their way. Karen says a new job opportunity yesterday with a great interview. Well, that's exactly what I'm seeing, Karen, is that you are going to be so satisfied with that job. It seems to be just perfect for what you have in mind, and for what you need to make it the perfect job. And that's, of course, the cooperation of the other side there, right? The client. And it's so that new job opportunity, it really is 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 meant to be. It's going to be, um, either it's long term or it leads to something that is long term. It opens a door, maybe, or this could actually be the job itself, because this is very much in, down your alley. It's exactly what you want to be doing. So that's pretty good when you can do that. Cody says, I remember my mother told me when I was a year old that at my grandparents' house saw a picture of my great grandmother. When I saw that picture of my great grandmother, my mother said, recognizing, almost recognizing yourself in a picture from generations ago. Now that's it's really a new phenomenon when you think about how short a time it's been that pictures have been around. Cody says, I keep looking at it like I knew her. You can't hide the soul in your eyes. This is where it always comes through, and even a picture. Remember the stories about the American Indians thinking that the pictures were so real that they were stealing a part of their soul, taking a part of them away with those pictures. Pictures can be so effective. It's full color oil paintings are what the missionaries used back in the 1700s to frighten native peoples into their religion. Cody said, the funny thing about my grandmother is died a few months before I was born. And transitions like that are, I meant great grandmother. Wow. Wow. My grandmother lived in three different centuries. She was born in 1899 and died in 2001 or three, but was alive in all three of the different centuries. And it is amazing to think that we are here, and then we leave, and then we come back. What are the two biggest experiences in any life? It's being born and dying. The reason for reincarnation, the reason that you die, is that it's such a big thing in your life. When you see it coming, you really focus your life more. And so to be that birth, death, rebirth, that is how we learn. That is how we have evolution of the soul. That's what's going on here. We come back in these lives so we can learn how to be more like God, more God-like. That's the whole point, is that sooner or later, all of the billions of souls that God has put on this earth will achieve that God-like being, where we truly are enlightened, where we truly are like God, and that this is what God has always imagined for us, that we could get to that point, and that that point of being next to God is, of course, what brought on the revolution of the angels. The angel Lucifer, who would come to be known as Satan, Lucifer felt like he wanted to be, or he, she, whatever angel you want to call angels can be anything they want to be. Lucifer decided that Lucifer should be number two to God. And when Lucifer went about it the right way in the beginning, he did everything that he possibly could to assist God and help God in his programs. And Lucifer was chosen by God to go to this created earth and make it ready for human beings to be reincarnated here on earth. Now, Lucifer is here doing that when he realizes that that's going to place humans above the angels, above him. This is what causes all of the trouble. This is why Lucifer is cast to earth on a lightning bolt with 200 other angels who become the fallen angels. Yes, the fallen angels that made it with human women. This is part of the book of Enoch. The book of Enoch that is missing from the King James version of the Bible, along with the books of Adam and Eve. There's 2 books of Adam and Eve, 3 books of Enoch. These are the books that were read by the wise men to know where Jesus was born. These are the books that Jesus studied. These are the books that were hidden by the Essene, the commune that Joseph and Mary were in about the year 80 in the Dead Sea caves. Yes, the Dead Sea Scrolls that were discovered in 1945 contained the writings that had been put away so they could not be stolen by the Greeks and then the Romans. The Greeks first came to Jerusalem and set up the library at Alexandria to drain the knowledge of the Hebrews, right? To find their magic. History has a way of repeating itself as people go through cycles. And Cody says, I had a few great-grandparents that passed away. The first one was my mother's grandfather from my grandfather. Passed away in July of 87. Couple of weeks after Gleason, when Jackie Gleason is someone we've talked about before with Cody, and I thought it was crazy, and all happened around the same time. Never underestimate coincidence, Cody. And it's the signs, the omens are always there. It's whether or not we understand them, whether or not we can take advantage of the knowledge that we obtain. And between now and the new moon, which is going to come up on September the 15th. Between now, we just finished the full moon, and September the 15th is the best time for having surgery on your body, because during this time, your body heals better. Your body heals much better when you're asleep. And so it really depends on moon signs and phases of the moon and this sort of thing. So the best time to have surgery done is between the full moon and the new moon, and that's between now and September the 15th. So looking at the moon signs that will coordinate in these next 2 weeks, if you were going to have surgery on a particular part of your body, what would be the best time to do it? In the coming week, we're going to be under first Aries that we started under now, and that's about your head and your teeth. And then we'll move to Taurus, and that's about your neck and your vocal cords, everything inside your neck. And then into Gemini, which is about your lungs and your shoulders and your arms and your hands, right? And then in the next week, we'll be in Cancer, which is your stomach, your breast, and in Leo with his heart and your blood pressure, and then Virgo, which is your eyes and your ears and all of your sense organs. Though, if you need to have work done on that particular part of the body, then that is the time for you to do it. Cody says, then my other grandfather passed away in 1994, and my great grandmother passed away in 1996, the year I was born. And then the other grandfather. So it's very possible for a soul to choose to come right back into another life, and within a particular family, and have another chance at enlightenment. Of course it is. And the other great grandmother passed away just a couple of years ago. It's people are getting to know their elders in a very new way, because people are living longer, and we're learning more from those that came before us, those who care about us, and those who pass along things like blessings, good luck, good fortune. These are things that are human, and they are very very doable things. Let's say you're born today. You're a Virgo, of course, and you're also a number 8. Your date of birth, 9/1/2023, adds up to 17. And that means you're a 1 plus 7 equals 8. Cody says, then my other great grandmother from my father's side and mother passed away in 2003. And how often do we see that a couple needs each other to have a reason, I guess, to really be here, and pass away at particular times that way, one after the other. My father died on June the 7th of 1989, in 6, 7, 8, 9, at 1:23 in the morning. It was like his number was up, and it truly was time for him to go do other things. It's very possible for a human to have more than one karma, more than one karmic life that they are working. And sometimes this is the reason that people get called away in what we consider to be the middle of their lifetime, or even the beginning of their lifetime. They have fulfilled their purpose in this lifetime, and then we'll move along, and they get to decide whether or not they have reached enlightenment. When we do pass over, we are taken by a guide to review our life and see really how we affected other people. Cody says, I forgot my other great grandfather from my father's side in his family passed away at 74, the year both of my parents were born. Well, how symmetrical. And I mean, truly, that's a family tree, right? And numbers mean so much, Cody. It's words, all the different languages were really put together in order to hide information from other people. That was the whole reason behind having a language for each country. Your Tower of Babel type operation there. So by choosing our language, we got into to groups, and we start trying to hide what we really mean. And this is what Pythagoras said so long ago, is that words are meant to hide the truth. Numbers give the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And we're being joined now by Clearly. And Clearly, nice to have you with us in the chat room tonight. Our chat room is open to subscribers of the channel here, and we try to do two readings for everyone who comes in. Clearly, if I pulled a card on you tonight, it would be that your guides are saying that you're looking for information that's been hidden from you, trying to find something, I think, about yourself, perhaps, maybe something that we can help you with. Hopefully so. Cody says, I remember we talked about myself being a manager psychiatrist. There, that almost goes with the job, doesn't it? As the manager is the one who manages to get the other people to work. Yes. Clearly says, I'm always seeking knowledge. Yes, dear. That's clear that you have a path. You're on the way to the mountaintop. You know where you're going, and you are gathering the information to help you get there. And knowing that there's always more information, that there is more to seek. That's the start of the path that leads you to the mountaintop and allows you to be on both sides of that road at the same time. See, that's the tame you and the wild you coming together. Yes, being able to bring your emotional side together with your logical side, and have your emotional side make sense. And Clearly says, yes, I know my path. Help by explaining. June 22nd. Well, I feel very, very fortunate to have been able to help. The numbers are remarkable in the way that they not only can see what you've been through and how you got to where you are, but also what's open to you ahead. And that's the thing to remember, is that only the past is written in stone. Only the past is unchangeable. The future, anytime your guides give you a vision, give you an inkling of the future, what they're showing you is an open door. One of several open doors that you, with your free will, get to choose from. Clearly says that you did a wonderful job of helping me understand myself as master number 22. 22. My granddaughter is a 224. And then the 22 is a real blessed number. It is. It's the 2 plus 2 equals 4 is being able to enjoy each step along the way, and not Not try to skip over what looks like the boring part, right? Not trying to read the end of the book first, but enjoying each and every page, enjoying where you are right now, enjoying everything about the world that you are creating. You get to write your own story, and you get to choose what you're going to allow into your life. Cody says, for all the big legends I've looked up and giving them jobs and having them a retirement home, there's a retirement home for them. Beautiful, dimensional place. This Cody, the being able to move within dimensions means you didn't just get to help these people in that one particular lifetime. You've made yourself available to them to help them come and go. Oh, clearly says yes. And hey, Mama Lyd is here. Mama, hello. We haven't seen you in several weeks. Good to have you back with us, Mama. Let's see. Let's see what's going on. Moving to the top, number one, and of course it's cups. So that's love. So you've done something that makes you feel like you're on top, that you've been crowned, that you've really had a wonderful experience, that something has come into your life that really turned around and made you good and glad to be here. To and thank you for making us a part of it, letting us help enjoy the you taking control of your life. That's good, Mama. It's you enjoying enjoying that's it. That enjoying the love of the other people in your life, having it come back to you. See, having that reflection come back to you. That's what warms you and makes you feel so good. She says, I decided to say yes to almost everything this summer. First time in years. Did a little vacation last week. Oh, yeah. See, this is really self-love, and knowing how to appreciate yourself and put yourself not above everyone else, but not below them. Putting yourself in the picture, and knowing that you are going to do the right thing. You're going to help other people. You're not going to push anybody else out of the way. And it's a great thing to know about yourself, dear. It is. And to allow things into your life is to, when you allow pleasure into your own life, you're thanking your guides. You're allowing them to experience what they want to experience. That's pleasure. That's why they're with you. Your guides very often come with you to experience the emotions that you feel, and the more emotional you are, the more guides you'll pick up. Mama says thank you, and also decided to say no as well. Being able to say yes and knowing when to say no. It's simple. Sounds simple, doesn't it, kids? But it's not, because so few things in this universe are yes or no. So many are, well, it depends, and maybe, and could be, and I wish. It's so there's so much gray area that saying yes and no is you standing up and saying no more. I'm in charge. I will decide how I'm going to react to other people. I won't let anybody push me into anything through anger or love or any emotion they're carrying to use. I won't let them use it on me. Clearly says, so important to have a balance, knowing when to say yes and no, and having the ability, the ability to say no is foreign to some people, not as easy, but feeling ease. Yes. See, some people have that middle child syndrome. They're pleasers. They do their best to please everybody. And these are the people that just can't say no. These are the people that overbook themselves, overextend themselves, and cause themselves so much trouble by not being able to say no. And it really is a gift, a talent to be able to. Cody says the greatest thing about that place is a dimension that live variety shows, situation comedy, magic act, and other different types of programs. Yes, yes. The whole idea, Cody, is that it's not exclusionary. It's open to anyone who is a stager, right? Is out there and performing. Oh, Mama Lit says that is me, actually. Yes, yes. Well, it's there's such a good vibe that comes from you, dear. That I appreciate you being here. I really do. Yeah, you make me feel better. Cody says, big film productions, still lives and continues. That's nothing ever ends, Cody. That's really that is really the secret of the universe, is that no soul ever dies. God can't die, right? Angels can't die. Humans, through reincarnation, are reborn. They don't die. You can't kill anyone. You, because the soul can't die, and the soul is always evolving. If you think the body evolved, think where the soul has come from and still has to go. Mama Let says, so glad I caught you. Greetings to all in the chat room. Mama, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for being a part of the group. And remember to hit that thumbs up, all right? It's good to be able to talk with other people. That's that's why we can talk, you know. I mean, and it all starts with cave drawings. You know, the people, the deaf people who know sign language. That was the first language. There was that had to be. You know, sign language would have come first, and then the grunts and groans eventually, you know, turn into to words. But our body language is so important in our everyday life. I mean, the way you present yourself is the way others are going to react to you. And if you have a low opinion of yourself, it's very obvious in your body language. And if you are overly aggressive, you know, it also greatly shows in your body language. And being able to read body language is the next thing to reading minds. Your body language, you can't stop. You're also, through your eyes, you open yourself to the rest of the world. And it is through the eyes of someone else that you can find if you're supposed to be with that person or not. The first time you meet someone and you get a chance to look to them face to face, your spirit guides are going to take control of your eyes, the same as they can make you drive right past the thing you were going to by thinking about something else, right? They can blind you, they can put blinders on you and make you think of only certain things. And they can make you see things in the eyes of another person. And this would explain those who have seen reptiles' eyes in people that they are supposed to be frightened of. This is your guides telling you to be scared of that person. Stay away from that person. Just the same as it is if you can see yourself reflecting in those eyes and you see love. You can see the love coming out. And this is how you know that this is a person who is supposed to be in your life. So let's say that you're like 99% of the people in the world, and circumstances beyond your control put you with your mate. How do you know if you're supposed to stay with your mate? Okay. Everybody in the world makes mistakes. If you can forgive the mistakes of another, then they're supposed to be in your life. If you cannot forgive them, there's only one way to handle it, and that's to be away from them. And so to have a couple, to have both of these people come together and both be able to forgive each other, now we have a very good coupling. And if both of them happen to get together, if what are the odds that both of them would be single and available at the same time? Now, yeah, when you put all that together, the odds are astronomical, aren't they? So you'd almost have to be karmically inclined to be able to get together with the same people again in this world. My wife was born on the island of Guam, and I was born in the state of Tennessee. And how we got together is an incredible story. You know, anything is possible. Cody says, also in my dimensional place, the variety of different acts, my vision is very unlimited and always getting ideas. My dreams are always growing. Cody, not only does evolution give you five fingers, right? And everything else that you need, evolution also occurs in the soul. The soul is constantly evolving through reincarnation. Or, you know, there are of the basic religions that are still going in this world, two of the three have an argument over, is it reincarnation or resurrection? And really, it's the same thing. So, reincarnation is an idea that allows you to make mistakes and allows you to learn from the mistakes of others. Why else would there be this many people on the planet if we were not supposed to be learning from the mistakes of other people? If we were not supposed to allow others to learn from our mistakes? Hoo-hoo. Mama Lit says my parents met in a Chinese restaurant in a tiny town in the mountains of Canada. After both recovered from neighboring villages in Europe just weeks before. Wow. Oh man. That what a story everyone has to tell of actually finding what they consider to be their mate. because it's never, we grew up next door to each other. And that things very seldom work out that way. Cody says, I remember learning about reincarnation was deleted in the Bible. Ah, yes, yes. In the year 80, this is when the Church of Jesus came to an end, because James, the brother of Jesus, the leader of the Church of Jesus after the crucifixion, James was put to death, was thrown off the highest tower. The rest of the Essene commune, and the Essene, which is a Greek word that means cedar. There's of the Hebrews, religious leaders in Jerusalem. You have the Pharisees and the Sadducees and the Essene. The first two groups capitulated with the Romans. They became political. They believed in that new part of the Bible that said, render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. Oh, so the third group is the Essene. They live outside the city. They are a commune, and they believe that everything belongs to God. And they are the most pious people in the world. They've sworn off having children. Right? Now, the Essene have their own writings, their own holy books. And among these are the books of Enoch, 3 books, and the 2 books of Adam and Eve. And in the books of Adam and Eve, what we find out, these were rediscovered in 1945 in the Dead Sea Scrolls. And 2,000 years later, they finally see what the Essene were hiding is that reincarnation begins with Adam and Eve. In the books of Adam and Eve, we see that when they fall from grace, they are so depressed that they attempt to kill themselves. First, they drown themselves, and then they jump off a mountain. And each time they die, the word of God comes to them and brings them back to life. Death, birth, rebirth. This is where it starts. So, yes, the reincarnation part was dropped from knowledge of the Bible when the Romans took over. And the Roman emperor, who thought of himself as a living God, had to change a lot of the things in the Bible. The most glaring, of course, is the consumption of alcohol, which was forbidden in the Christian church until the Romans took over the Christian church. Mama Lit says, never heard of it. Adam and Eve book, something to delve into. Thank you for sharing this knowledge. It's the way that we know, the way that I know that the books of Adam and Eve are real, is that they are the only other place that the 3 wise men could have found out about the treasures to bring to the new baby: gold, frankincense, and myrrh. These are the 3 things that God allowed Adam and Eve to bring from the Garden of Eden down to the cave below. And it's the only time it's ever mentioned in the Bible is in the books of Adam and Eve. And these are what the wise men read, beginning with Enoch. You see, Enoch is the 7th generation from Adam. And in the books of Enoch, we get predictions of the flood that's coming. We find out that the elected one is coming. And the elected one, as it turns out, is God. Adam and Eve have had to leave the Garden of Eden. They have gone against a commandment of God. But God is not a vengeful God. And this is why this is taken out of the Bible. God is a forgiving God. God forgave Adam and Eve. And here's the promise that he made to them. In only 5,500 years, I am going to come back to earth as a human, as Jesus. And I will then die for you two and for everyone else that you're going to be creating in this world. I, God, will come back, and in human form, I will sacrifice myself. Why? Why would God do such a thing? Because God knows that the soul can't die. It didn't matter what they did to the body. The soul wasn't going to die. But God went back, and God kept that promise. And at that time, all sins were wiped away. And, Mama Let says, never heard of that thing. Cody says, we have Church of Christ, Church of God, Assembly of God, Baptist Church. Woo, yeah. The concept of three is prominent in Christianity and other ancient Father, Son, Holy Ghost. Methodist churches are the they're different churches. Yeah, and of course the Buddhist, the Buddhists have their own way of looking at things, but it's all about forgiveness. It's all the same teaching. And if we're able, if we know that God is a forgiving God, then we can forgive ourselves of our transgressions and know that the reason that so many bad humans do bad things is because of their past. They've already done something that they consider to be a terrible sin. And they don't think that God can forgive them of that sin. And they think, well, I'm already in deep here. I might as well go ahead and double down, right? And this is human nature, and this is what we're trying to evolve out of as we live here on this planet. And this is why we've all been placed here, is for us to attain our enlightenment, to become more like God. God would like nothing better than to have 8 billion gods upon this planet. The only thing that holds us back is the fallen angels and temptation, and them knowing exactly what is your temptation, and God knows what is mine, right? And we all know temptation is wrong, and we all know that we have our own that we consider to be, well, that's different, right? And this is why we're here. This is what we're all trying to learn from each other. Cody says, my brother had his own church Buddha from my other past life. I remember my daughter Amy once told him that I was one of the Buddha's brothers, and there are so many things that we carry over from other lives, and other lives can have such a huge effect on us in that life that we almost think that was us. One of the people that I mentioned tonight was the brother of Jesus, James, and I feel a great affinity for James. James, who was killed by being thrown from the top of the temple. And I have a fear of high places that I believe I must have at least experienced, I must have been there to see it, because it made such a deep impression upon me. I can't be on top of a building and look over the edge. That's whoo, that would just be too much to do. But there are certain things from other lives that we carry that let us know that they're the markers. They're like the gold, frankincense, and myrrh that were allowed to that Adam and Eve were allowed to take out of the cave and take with them. And one of the other things that is missing is in the second book of Adam and Eve. They discuss Cain and Abel, and the fact that both Cain and Abel came into this world with twin sisters. And what an interesting fact that is when you consider that the name Adam comes from the Hebrew word Adamson, which means red dirt. And also, the name Adam is really used to signify not one but two, both man and woman, Adam and Eve, both coming from the earth, and both being of the red clay, the red earth that we will all return to. These are there's so many connections within the holy books that are within the Bible, and the ones that aren't, and it's up to us to be able to interpret these things. And this is why we're getting smarter. This is why we live longer. We have more information to come to us. It is because we're capable of knowing. And don't be afraid to know the truth. Cody says, "No wonder I'm an old soul." It's and this again is something that people can see in your eyes. How many times have you had someone look at you and say, "Well, you're an old soul," and they, being someone who has had multiple lives, can see that within you. And when a seer looks into your mind, what they're really connecting with is your spirit guides. And your spirit guides tell them what they want you to know. Clearly says, what about Adam Cadman, the first man to be made according to the Sumerian tablets, I think. Adam is really the key here. These are the myths that were handed down orally, right, for thousands of years before they were ever written down. The books of Adam and Eve must have been written by someone of Moses' statues, of some Egyptian in Moses' time. Moses is the first one that actually wrote down. And it was just the first time that someone had taken the time and trouble to actually write down what had been the oral tradition. And this is there's so much to learn and so much to see. I'm a researcher myself at heart, and I am Franklin, and I am saying thank you to all of our participants tonight. And remember to hit the thumbs up button, please, to show your support. This is the Cosmic Watch. I'm your astrologer, Franklin, and I'll see you next time, same station next week.